available for the rural entrepreneurship like that.
Yeah. Fine, sir. So I think it's time now, sir. We can start. First, my colleague Pragya will talk about the manage and he will introduce to you, sir, Ravi, sir. Then we'll start with you. So Pragya, please take over.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And good morning to everyone. And welcome to our 180th webinar of our Saturday webinar series. I am Pragya Mishra, working as business executive at the Managed Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship. And as we start today's session, I would like to provide a brief overview first of Manage CIA. So our center stands as Center of Excellence in Agribusiness Incubation situated at National Institute of Agricultural Extension Management, MANAGE. As a prominent agribusiness incubator in India, our center has guided 754 entrepreneurs and nurtured over 383 startups across diverse agricultural sectors. And our center has trained startups in crucial areas of agriculture and allied sectors and assisting them in refining their concepts and expanding their ventures throughout their agriculture entrepreneurship journey. And this inception of this open to all webinar series by Manage CIA aims to extend its reach and service to a larger audience of agri entrepreneurs across India. And this is conducted every Saturday, and the webinar series cover wide array of topics featuring speakers from diverse domains. So today's session focuses on incubation program for marginalized communities in agriculture, and we are delighted to have three esteemed speakers joining us today. We will start with our first speaker today, and he is Mr. Ravi Kumar Nara. He is the National President at Dalit Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, DICCI, which is striving to promote entrepreneurship among scheduled caste and scheduled tribe communities. Mr. Ravi is most respected in his contribution in the spheres of social services and business enterprise. He was bestowed with the fourth highest civilian award, Padma Shri, in the year 2014 by Government of India in recognition for his contribution to the growth of Indian industry. He is the first Dalit entrepreneur to be awarded Padma Shri from South Indian part. And Mr. Ravi is a motivational speaker and a member of National Task Force on Affirmative Action Committee at the Confederation of Indian Industries. So with this brief introduction, I would like to hand over the session to Sir.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Pragya, for introducing me. Thank you, Amit, for making us a part of this panel. There's a great thing Manage is doing. Continuously 180 programs is not a ordinary thing. I can understand the kind of work you people are doing and the commitment which you have. Really, it is a very, very appreciable job. What you do. Great inspiration. So, in this regard, today's topic of incubation programs for marginalized communities in agriculture. So, before that, I would like to introduce. Before that, I would like to introduce DICCI, which is founded in 2005 by Padma Shri Dr. Milind Kable in Pune. And slowly our organization gradually grown up. And today I am very proud to inform you that our organization has spread across India in all the states. And we even have the overseas chapters now. 7 countries we have overseas chapters. So the emerging of DICCI is a great revolution in the country, particularly for the marginalized societies. Because before emerging DICCI, there was no advocacy for the aspiring entrepreneurs across the country. So now Tiki is able to fulfill the aspirations of the younger generation who are basically from the different rural areas. We could able to create a lot of ecosystem. Maybe it is from the government of India or maybe it is a state government. In both, in all the departments or all the ministries, we could able to create a lot of support system for becoming a successful enterprise. So this is the great change happened in the country. So we have completed more than 18 years now. So before 18 years, the government thought process of empowering SC/ST communities in the country is that this weaker section must be given to cows, to goats, or to sieving machines, or to give them the option to open a chappal shop, like that in the situation was. But now, because of the intervention of the Tiki and because of the intervention of the Tiki, today a marginalized society person belonging to marginalized society can get a loan up to 15 crore without any collateral security from IFCA venture capital. And the great evolution has taken place when the Honorable Prime Minister has announced that the Stand Up India program, which will facilitate all SC/ST communities to get the unsecured loan without any collateral up to 1 crore rupees. And another great revolutionary step happened in this country is around creation of SC/ST hub, through which any person who intended to start, any aspiring entrepreneur can get 25% subsidy. Suppose if they are starting 1 crore project, then 25 lakh subsidy they will get. So these are the Government of India initiatives, and various state governments also got various support systems. Like the best one now recently introduced in Tamil Nadu, Anna Ambedkar scheme. So wherein anybody who is going to set up industry, they will get a 35% upfront subsidy. That means even if an entrepreneur margin money is not there also, anybody can start an industry up to 3 crore rupees of the value they can start the industry. Apart from that, interest subvention, power tariff concessions. So similar cases there in Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh also, but it is a back-ended subsidy. So the difference between the Tamil Nadu and the other two states is Tamil Nadu is front-end, other states are back-end. So like that in Maharashtra we have a policy, Gujarat we have a policy, in Haryana we are going to get it, in Uttar Pradesh we have a policy. Like that in every state, the emphasis has been done and the extra support system has been created for all the prospective entrepreneurs in the country. So these are the things that what we are doing, and our focus is on the rural entrepreneurship now, because if you see the Indian economy is stable because our economy lies in the rural areas. Even if you take the history, we could not have the industrial revolution. We don't have industries which are set up 100 years back. But whereas entrepreneurial agriculture production was able to create a wealth in those days. During the rules of Raja Maharaja also, the foundation of the Indian economy is the agriculture production. So because of that, even today, we are able to sustain. Internationally, there are so many economic crises have taken place. But all these economic crises could able to tackle because of the agriculture production in this country. And undoubtedly, I can say the 90% of the efforts are made by the marginalized society in production of the agriculture produce. I can say that there is no seed which has not touched the feet of a marginalized person. So all agricultural laborers all belong to the marginalized society. That means the marginalized society is the producer of the agriculture product. Even though they are not the landlords, even though they don't get the value for the efforts what they make, but because of their efforts, the agriculture production is there. But unfortunately, the systems which in our country has been developed, now of course there are some changes are happening, but the actual person who is making efforts to produce the agriculture production is not getting the due credit what he is supposed to get. But now the government is focusing on the rural entrepreneurship, and the incubation centers have been establishing throughout the country. The government focus is there, and many NGOs like you and many people are focusing that. Now it is shaping, taking a different shapes. So now the new technology is emerging across the world. So the value addition to the agriculture products are very important. But at the same time, if the technology is used, these agriculture laborer who are doing laborious job shall not be eliminated from the process. So for that, we need to incubate the agricultural laborers who are doing already, who belong to marginal society. So they must be given a technology, they must be given a mentorship, and they must be given a funding support system, and the policy should be in their favor. Then the country will progress a lot. That is what we advocate. The India's population is the biggest advantage for us. The biggest advantage, we are unable to convert that into their strength, not converting to growth of the country. So with the technology, the primary motto must be the transfer of the technology, and the all support system must be created for the marginal society. So in these lines, we could able to create many people in the country, and we will be continuing to do that. And I am very happy that we have a very committed team across the country who are working voluntarily for developing the entrepreneurship among the marginalized society. Thank you very much for the answer.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ravi sir. You mentioned very right that there is not a single seed or not a kind of small work can be happen without of help of these marginal communities and without of their intervention. Although they are very integral stakeholders and the part of the agro ecosystem you mentioned, right? And the initiatives of Dicky in sort of supporting to the entrepreneurs, in sort of providing guidance, mentoring, and the part of supporting finance also you mentioned that from the 1 crore to without a collateral funds or that to subsidy of 35% really help to these budding entrepreneurs to establish their own ventures. Definitely from the attendees, there will be have some questions from there in mind. So I would request to attendees kindly put your questions in the chat box, or you may raise the hands to ask questions to the speakers. But these questions will be take up after the our two remaining speakers at the end. So by the time you can put these all questions in the chat box or raise the hand, we will take the note of it. So with this, we thank you to Ravi sir for the session. I request to be there with us, and I request to my colleague Neetu to introduce our next speaker. Miss Tilak Ram ma'am is there. Neetu, please.
Thank you, sir. A very good morning to one and all. I am Neetu. I am working as research fellow. So our second speaker is Ms. Tilakam Rajendran, founding partner and director, Nether Foundation and ADPAR, as Alliance to promote abilities and rehabilitation. She brings a vast experience of with persons, families, rehab professionals, NGOs, and industry members, advocating for convergence and bringing major changes in the mindset of people by showcasing the abilities of people with disabilities and creating innovative employment opportunities which are inclusive and makes business sense. She started AGRIPAR to enable and empower all persons with disabilities and other marginalized groups and dispel the myth of disabilities and discover their ability to be seen as at par. She started her career as a special educator in Adi and has over 25 years of experience in the area of disability, particularly focused on finding employment and livelihood solutions for adults with mild to severe disabilities, both in urban and rural areas. Later, as a managing director of Arunim, an initiative of National Trust under MSJE, she laid a roadmap for more than 200 producer groups with disabilities across the country by providing skills in product innovation, enterprise management, and market intelligence that gave them the dignity as artisans and entrepreneurs. She was a recipient of the NCPDP Shell Helen Keller Award in 2011 for promoting the employment of persons with disabilities. And also, she was selected for Unreachable Fellow 2011, Boulder in Colorado, as Arunim got selected as one of the world's best social enterprise and got mentored by the best industrialists. With this, I would like to invite Ms. Tilakam Rajendran, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Neetu, and very good morning. And thank you to the whole team of Manage and CIA to have been invited us. It's a great privilege, I would say, to meet Mr. Ravi ji, because he has been one of our role models for whatever we are doing today. So you will get to see how we also created NEDA, the NEDA, the network, the first network of entrepreneurs with disability in India was, taken up after Dickey. We took Dickey as a role model, and we said marginalized groups and entrepreneurs with disability also need to have a space in the community today. So having said that, I would thank Dr. Sharavanan, Amit, and your team and also AIC BIMTech, with whom we got connected and through whom you all have invited us today to share our small journey. And so I'm just going to use the PowerPoint just to, share a few of our.
Yeah. Ma'am, you need to share the screen now.
Yeah, can you see?
Yes. Yes, need to make full screen mode, ma'am.
Yeah, I will do that. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we can see the.
So welcome the listeners and a few of our NEDA members who are also part of this team and who are also attending this program to understand, what more and what are the opportunities for them. And here, what we are basically addressing is how do people or entrepreneurs, Divyang Udhyami, how do they get into the mainstream and get included in this large scope of opportunity, which just know what Dr. Ravi was saying, that agriculture and farmers are the seed in the country. And same, we are also saying entrepreneurs and farmers with disabilities are also adding value in the same way. So here we are trying to change that small perception, which we have of people with disabilities in the country. And NEDA Foundation is trying to change that business landscape. So while we are saying that, India alone has 26.8 million of them as per the census. And, when we say that, when we talk of the employable age, 1 crore of people with disabilities are left behind, not able to have a career or a livelihood. So what do they do, if they don't get a job? So to escape poverty and social, inclusion for survival, they are pushed to take up small self-employment and nano businesses without much knowledge of business skills and market linkage, because there are still, the ecosystem is still in the, very, very nascent stage to look at them as any other, as a productive member, as a group of people or a community in the marginalized segment of in the society who are also invisible contributors. We call them invisible contributors because They are part of job creators. They are part of the national wealth. And like Sir said just now, they are also in the agro and many other businesses in the country, but they are yet to be pronounced as part of the main part of the marginalized group. Though our legal law and everywhere we do say that under marginalized, like today we are part of this session, is while SC/ST women are important, so are entrepreneurs with disabilities. So that is where I am coming from, that domain where we need to strengthen this entrepreneurial ecosystem among rural population, women, youth, which is already happening, but very few really get entrepreneurs with disabilities or people with disabilities are yet to get into the mainstream, whether it is through incubator support or any other scheme like just now. Again, I'm quoting Sir because he has really, Ravi Sir has come up with so many solutions for the country for SC/ST. It's a powerful body. 18 years he has been there, and he's also been recognized as one of the premier person who has brought so many things in the country. Same, I think, Dicky does take people with disability, but yes, there is an eligibility criteria where we say they need to be SC/ST. Same with Stand Up India scheme where we have SC/ST women, but they fall short of, saying it is also for people with disability. So there are certain perception, issues which we are struggling with, and that's where NIDA Foundation is bridging this, gap. It's a huge gap, but yet it's a small initiative, I would say, in the country, and we are trying to do our best. So what is our role is to create this accessible, inclusive, not just incubators, all the services, schemes, and bridging the ecosystem's perception. Having said that, I am unable. So these are the current, systems which are existing in the disability sector. So while people with disability are more or less aligned with some NGOs, some organizations where it is a rehab model. So the challenge is to convert these rehab models into enterprise model. All of us have, got that experience of buying products during Diwali Mela from some disability organizations and entrepreneurs with disability. But we have really not looked at their sustainability. And here you can see in the screen, all of them are my students, have been my students once upon a time. And you can see like 2011, 1999, like Sam, and so all of them are today running sustainable businesses, though they started businesses not like a startup, but they had no choice because they were not getting jobs either because of their disability or condition or accessibility. Reasons could be many, or they are, in some rural village where nobody even knows they exist. So from there, they created their own solutions. Yes, organizations like us, whether it is an NGO or any other organizations or a government-supported initiative, they have moved on and have created sustainability for themselves. Like you can see Tariq, 2010, he started Special Hands of Kashmir. Today, he employs more than 55 people. So he has created a community. So that is where we are moving them to be looked at as startups and to looked at as people who are contributors. So some of the success factors, which I'm just skipping fast, but this is the World Disability Report, that yes, people with disability also need to understand there are, schemes and incubators, and ecosystem is really wanting to support them, but उनको खुद नहीं पता कि incubator होता क्या है, what is an incubator. So in fact, during our training programs, which we start with incubator word, So from there, the foundation is not built. So they have been more on rehab mode. So it has to be self-directed, and they take the risk, and risk taking. That's why we call them leader. It's an Hindi word which means fearless, though the full acronym is Network of Entrepreneurs with Disability for Assistance and Rehabilitation. But they are, go beyond their disability challenges, and they are risk takers, and they have what best can be called, leaders, because they have looked beyond their physical challenges and they have become entrepreneurs. Like for me, I wouldn't think of becoming an entrepreneur, but then That's how, they are risk takers. And of course, given the small business skills, so one of our services is, so whatever At Par does. So At Par, the name itself was first formed that whatever we do, it has to be mainstreamed, it has to be inclusive. So that's how, again, it's also an acronym. It's Alliance to Promote Abilities and Rehabilitation. But At Par means hum jo bhi karenge, it has to be as any other entrepreneur would get. So the business skills is done through the EDP program, the Entrepreneurship Development Program, through NSIC, which comes under MSME. So that was something as a rehab person. I'm a simple special educator. I'm no businesswoman, but that's what we were taught. I mean, when I learned the skill, I felt it's very crucial for the disability sector to learn those business skills beyond, of course, the hard skills. Hard skills सीखना बहुत आसान है. You have so many skill development programs, but to understand business when they are running small or micro or nano businesses, it was very important. So that's how NSIC was very kind enough, and we started this training in 2017. Trained more than 700 people, and today, we have moved to become a virtual incubator in the country for entrepreneurs with disability. So sharing these kinds of, this is a research, which is there already. So all the ecosystem, agar support karta hai, so these kind of marginalized community can also fly equivalent to any other person in the society. So that is how this bridge was formed, and At Par's vision, where economic empowerment, social inclusion, and rehabilitation, that's equally very important, for them. So that was where, we started working on. Similarly, there are balancing between the NGO-led enterprises, cluster, SHGs, and individual entrepreneurs. So we started segmentizing the industry, looking at where they are and also supporting. These are small examples and experiences which I want to share quickly, where it made a difference. A small village in UP, when they came to me and said, ma'am, wahan pe bilkul kaata hai. There are only thorns there, I said, kuch to farming, agro, business hoga. They said, it's a very remote place and nothing happens. And there's so many people with disabilities, people with intellectually challenged people, autism, those difficult, neuro disabilities. And then I said, let's find out what is there. He said, ma'am, Kata Ukta, and he named it Dritkumari. Dritkumari is aloe vera. I said, oh my God, you're sitting on a gold mine and you don't know the value of it. And in 6 months, the whole community gathered. The parents gave the land. We had this aloe vera plants growing there, and then we bottled them up and we made aloe vera gel, shampoo, juice, and so many products. We got a technology, and you can see the whole community getting together. So the ministry then started looking at the data and started providing disability certificate, assistive device, and enabling them. So one miracle plant, gave life to so many people. So that is where the social inclusion happened, the rehabilitation happened. So these kinds of initiative was very important for our sector to say that if you don't look at them, they can be sitting at home. But if you make them productive, I think the world is at their feet. Similarly, family initiative in Calcutta, West Bengal, and a remote Rampurhat society where I went, and the mothers were teaching their intellectually challenged girls the kantha embroidery. And today what I'm wearing is one of their product. You can see the kantha. So this is, again, was an initiative. Then we started, getting the mothers together, and it was an initiative which gave, life to 30 young women. They started creating, all this kantha thing. Of course, there was an organization like ours. We developed those products to make it market worthy. We made iPad bags and clutches and things like that. We just sold off, off the shelf like that. So these are small, given the ecosystem support, this is what is possible. I'm just giving you one example of Mithilesh, a young woman who came to NSIC to do the EDP program. The first time she traveled alone. Her husband used to drop her in the morning, and the evening he used to pick her. One day it was not possible, and she said, ma'am, main kaise jaun? And the first time she took an auto and went. And then she realized that she can do, and to where she moved, she again finished the NSIC EDP program, and then again came back and said, ma'am, ab main kya karu? I've finished the training program. I said, what is it that you can do? She said, main matri bana sakti hu, balushahi bana sakti hu. And they had a tea shop. And that tea shop today, her product sells more than her husband's tea. And so from there the journey started. To her. Today she has built one more shop, she has built her home, and of course we supported her. So that's where the rehab program comes. We supported her. First she came to us and she said, ma'am, mujhe Agra jana hai, parivar ke sath Taj Mahal dekhna hai. And she got one wheelchair, and you can see the whole family there with behind Taj Mahal. So a dream of being independent, a dream of being socially included, their dream is no less than anybody else's dream, right? So that's where the joy of being. So today we got her this Neo Motion, which is a motorized wheelchair, and she can get into the metro and fly anywhere. And this girl, I would say, flies all over Delhi and manages her life, manages the construction of her second shop. So all this then gave us the courage, and Dicky, of course, was a role model, sir, where we realized that the entrepreneurs with disability also need a voice. Every time we looked at all these bodies and we said, no, we will be part of Dicky, we'll be part of women entrepreneur, but it was again segmentized. We had Dicky, which was only working with SC/ST, but they didn't say no to it, but they said, agar person with disability hai or SC/ST hai, so they are open. SC/ST hub you were talking about. Same. NSIC has trained about more than 700 entrepreneurs with disabilities whom we have facilitated through our organization. But again, SC/ST hub is supporting only SC/ST. But I think just last week they have come up and they said ki, they want success stories. So the table is turning, the recognition is happening. But we had to give the proof of pudding. We had to really prove their capabilities, and that's how NEDER was initiated in 2019. Our ex-secretary, Mrs. Tuti Kakkar, she launched it, and all of the dignitaries from NSDC and many of them were there to say that yes, it is the need of the hour. They need to have a voice of their own, and they need to have it was a starting point when I put across them. I said, "Aisa ek business network hota hai." All they could understand was marketing network. They didn't know business network hota kya hai. So I said, Delhi mein to every nukkad has a trader association which voices for itself. They said, nahi ma'am, hamara bhi hona chahiye. So today they are members, about 205 members from 18 states. And then just to give you a talk about again the invisible contributors, 72 NEDER entrepreneurs, we are still not done the entire survey, have created 372 jobs, out of which they have also given people with disabilities jobs. So, why are we, losing track of them? So that's how then again, after 2019, we got a still little more confidence and we said, yes, let's create NEDER network. So this was the NEDER Foundation, got launched as a Section 8 company. So this is the first virtual incubator because post-COVID NSIC, it was difficult for people to come, and we started doing online training, and we slowly started moving to across the country. Women sitting in Bihar or Kashmir, they could attend the training, and EDP was so powerful medium for them to learn the simple business skills, which translated into wonderful startups and sustainable business. People moved on. So this is the virtual business incubator, which does all these services of awareness raising. So we keep saying that Rojgar, acha hai, but Swarojgar bura nahi hai. If you're sitting at home just for waiting for jobs to happen, and they are just waiting for job fair after job fair. So they are not moving beyond that. And that's when they come for the EDP program, and we find that they just start off something or the other.
Tilaka
Time
ma'am,
is
sorry
over.
to interrupt you, but next 5 minutes you can complete, ma'am.
Yeah, so I am just skipping through all this. So ecosystem we work with. So you have seen Sambhav, our first incubator. We signed up with Atal Incubation Center in 2021. And in 23, we had 80 entrepreneurs going through the incubation program. And our secretary was there during the convocation. These are small agro, where our entrepreneurs are there. There is hydroponics, horticulture. There are businesses of pickle, disposable cutlery, and fertilizers, organic dyes in rural Tamil Nadu. So Uttarakhand, all these kinds of businesses are there. And of course, these are the few benefits. As you can see, I'm going just running through. The NSIC, you can see they started recognizing and giving them the awards. Global exposure at TAI and SIDBI. So ecosystem is something which is where we are. And these are some of the impacts which I'm just scraping through. So the new identities, we are not just giving them the disability ID card. So in the disability sector, if you ask anybody, sir, mere paas disability card hai, mera pension aata hai. So from there to move them, to give them an identity as artists, artisans, entrepreneurs, that's where the focus is for NIDA Foundation. And that's what we have done in this journey. So the only ask we have for incubators and organization and Dicky, I would say, please open it up. Entrepreneurs with disability need equal, kind of a support like premier organizations like Dicky and many other incubators, and help us with mentors and so many other things which you would think that equally they can also be a good entrepreneur contributing to the national wealth. So I end this small or long presentation just by saying that, as Helen Keller said, that it is the fundamental right of everyone to realize himself, however imperfectly, and contribute for the common good, however little. And this is what I say to all our NIDA members. But it is the same right which we as the society has to recognize them as a rightful contributor. So having said that, thank you so much for having us here. And sir, definitely I would like to get in touch with you, and we will take prerna from you to see how NIDA can take forward this journey. It's just a 3-year-old organization, but the vision is as strong as yours, and it will be a pleasure.
Thank
And
you.
same with Manage and CII. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you, Tilaka ma'am. But I must say it's a 3 years old organization, but did very remarkable work, especially not marginalized. I would avoid that word, very niche community, which is the physical handicaps. For that, your organization is working, and you already reached with the 18 states, that to 72 entrepreneurs, 102 employments. Really remarkable and inspiring. Manage and Dicky such organizations as well. And you are asked to Ravi Kumar sir, as he is a national president for the DKI. Definitely he will talk on that also during our question and answer session. And there are few questions also coming to him also, that why only SC and ST. So he will definitely answer that question. But with this, we'll thank you, Tilaka ma'am, to you. And we have joined with us Aruna Dasari, who is actually entrepreneur and part of the DKI as well. So with this, we thank you, Tilaka ma'am, and we welcome our next speaker. So I would request Pragya to introduce our next speaker, and request once again to attendees, put your questions in the chat box. We will take up after Aruna ma'am's session. Pragya, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. And yes, sir, we'll continue with our third speaker today, Miss Aruna Dasari. She is Managing Director of Ananya Green Tech. Ms. Aruna is a self-motivated woman entrepreneur. She has attended various entrepreneurship development programs at MSME, and with strong desire to become one of the world's leading entrepreneurs, she came in association with Ministry of MSME and got a loan of 38 lakh under Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for micro and small enterprises. This is a jointly done by MSME. And this motivated her to start her own enterprise, Ananya Green Tech, which is her first business unit. And Ananya Green Tech is into recycling of plastic waste, and the company is situated at Hyderabad right now. So with this small introduction, I will hand over the session to ma'am now.
Thank you so much for the introduction. I'm really sorry I'm not able to switch on my video. There's some technical glitch. I hope it's fine.
Yeah, ma'am, not an issue.
Yeah. Yes, I'm Aruna Dasari, the president of Dicky Telangana chapter, and also I'm an entrepreneur into manufacturing of plastic components and also into recycling of plastics. It's been almost 10 years that I'm into this industry. I started with recycling industry with a very small loan initially in 2014. Now I've scaled up to another two industries which are into manufacturing of plastic components as well as plastic household items. So as a woman entrepreneur, as a woman, initially it was very difficult and it was very challenging for me to get a loan or to get the business acumen. So I somehow got in contact with Vicky in the year 2013. That's where there was a program called Ignite was starting in 2013. So I happened to join the program Ignite, which was an EDP program. So I have got my business acumen from the Ignite 2013 program, wherein I've got the knowledge about how to start my business, how to avail the loans, how to approach the bank, and how to run your industry or how to get your market assistance. So this all was designed in the program. So before coming to Ricky, it took almost 5 years for me to research on what product I should get into, or what kind of business I should get into. So after 2013, it was a kind of easy task for me because I was associated with Ricky and I had a lot of support from Ricky, where how to get the finance, and I've approached a bank initially, 3-4 banks, but then they rejected me because of being a woman, Dalit woman. So I was being discriminated, and I took it as a challenge. So I have to definitely establish my industry at any cost. So with the support of Vicky, I've took a loan. I went to the bank and I took a loan of 38 lakhs initially, and then scaled up my industries to another 5 crores setup. And I started as a member in Wiki in 2013. Now I've become the president of Wiki. It's been a long process actually. It was, nothing was a cakewalk or easy task. It was, I had to face a lot of hurdles being a woman entrepreneur, wherein it would be a market or it would be finance. Because initially, Dalits, we, SCST women or any woman for that matter, we are not financially independent. We have to depend mostly on our parents or maybe our spouse. So women need to be financially independent. So that's what matters. So I somehow collected some finance from my friends, and then I had to put my gold and then get my margin money to invest in the bank, and then I get my first loan of 38 lakhs. So that's how it started. My journey started with a lot of hurdles and hiccups. But then after later, once I got associated with Vicky, and I've improved a lot of business network with Vicky's support. So initially, I think for any woman or any man, you say maybe from the marginalized community, it is very difficult task for them to get the financial assistance, because the bankers are not that supportive as people say. Unless and until you approach the bank, then you will get to know how bankers are really supportive. So it doesn't matter which caste or which creed you come from. It is the confidence. It is the kind of the knowledge what you have in your business is more important. So that's why I think any entrepreneur can get successful in their line of activity. Yeah. So this is all about my journey. So I'm coming to the Telangana government. We have a lot of schemes which are very supportive for the SC/STs. We have 100% stamp duty reimbursement. If any industry, if any SC/ST woman or man who wants to start their industry, you get 100 rupees, 100% stamp duty reimbursement. And then you have, 25% or 30% rebate in the land. And then you have 1 rupee 50 paise power reimbursement. And you have 50% reimbursement in GST. And SC women, you have 45% subsidy on the capital investment. And for men, it's 35% subsidy on the capital investment. You have interest subvention up to 3%, the maximum up to 9% per annum. We also have, reimbursement cost involved for skill upgradation for training your manpower. It's 2,000 rupees per person. So these all supportive systems, and we have also, a certain percentage has to be allotted to the SC, ST people in the land allotments. TSIC, we get land from TSIC, that is Telangana Industrial Infrastructure, wherein you get 30% rebate, sorry, 33.3% rebate, or the 30 lakhs, whichever is the highest. And certain percentage is been earmarked for SC and ST. So initially you have to pay 25% of the land cost, and then 2 years you get the moratorium period, and after 2 years, in the next 8 years, you need to pay the amount in equal installments. That is total 10 years that you get 2 years moratorium period. First you have to pay 25%, 2 years moratorium period, and the next 8 years, the 70% what you have is you have to pay 8 equal installments, and that is also at the rate of 4% interest. So these are the schemes which are available with Telangana government right now. And we also have support from the MSMEs. And we were mostly concentrating on agri-entrepreneurship and rural entrepreneurship. So I think, Government of India is aiming to become the 5 trillion economy by 2025. I think for this, India needs to grow at least at 9% per year, the growth rate. I think agriculture, any day agriculture is the main source of income. We need to ensure we promote a modern agriculture that is driven by technology and markets. So any industry for that matter, you want to set up any industry, it's agri or whatever it is, you need to have this business acumen. You don't need any formal education. But then you have proper planning for this. So maybe it's agriculture, it's, what crop you need to plant. Or, maybe you have to have the locations, soil testing, variety of crops, focus on the nutrition, or maybe you have to also look forward for the export market. And there's a lot of search for the export market. Food is any day is the essential thing. So we need to more concentrate on the supply chains, logistics, warehouse, and technology innovation, wherein this is playing a very pivotal role in the agriculture, because there is no technology upgradation. So I think we need to concentrate more on the technology upgradation. Then I think any industry would be a booming industry in the recent years. Yeah. So I think business is nothing but an idea, generating an idea. I mean, generating revenue from the idea. It's not that you need to have any formal education or any business acumen. You just need to have your knowledge and experience what business you have to start. So I think we, Dicky, are really working hard to develop the marginalized communities, wherein we are also providing the 365 degrees approach, wherein we have a business facilitation center, people who want to establish their industries. We are able to guide them in getting their loans, or preparing the DPRs, or whatever the other statutory license we need. We are assisting them. So I think we are on par with other communities now. I think SC/ST people are also going on par with other communities. So I think there is no need of any community. I mean, there's no need to feel that we are discriminated or we are being isolated from the society. It's only the confidence, only the hard work that pays off for anything. So that's all I think it is about the whole journey. And
Yeah, thank you so much, Aruna ma'am, to sharing your story that how you've been started your own business. What are the obstacles that you face at a very early stage, and how the Dicky support you to start your own and to achieve your dream of entrepreneurship. And also you mentioned about the few initiatives, Dicky, how in a way they support to the startups. So definitely participants, they have questions on that. But where, ma'am, they can find out these details like the schemes you mentioned about 50% GST reimbursement, electricity,
It
some
is,
concession they will get.
yeah, it's called Cheap Right Film.
Okay.
So you can find it in the government portal of Industries and Commerce Department portal.
Okay, fine, ma'am. So that we will take care, we'll share that details also. Also, ma'am, we'll try to share your contact details if any entrepreneur want to connect with you. So
Sure.
with this, we'll thank you, our third speaker, Anu ma'am, and we'll start with our next part of this webinar, that is the question and answers section. So I would request once again to participants, kindly put your questions in the chat box, or you may raise hands to ask the questions to the speakers. I also do have noted few questions to the all the speakers. So we'll start with the first question itself with Ravi sir, with you. You talked about something about the rural entrepreneurs, and there is also one initiatives from the Dicky side, that is the next gen. So Ravi sir, can you a little bit talk on about the rural youth programs and the next gen program as well from the Dicky side?
That question to
Sorry, your voice is breaking, sir. I'm not able to hear you properly. Maybe I'll come to your questions, sir. Maybe I'll come again with the same questions to you again once we connected you. Coming to the sir, we can't hear you. Can you just turn off your video so that you will get better bandwidth? Yeah.
so for better supporting the handicap.
Sir, we can't hear you. Sir, we can't
Uh,
hear you. It's totally getting.
Ravi sir, I would suggest you to turn off your video so that you will get better bandwidth. Uh, I think maybe my team will connect with Ravi sir, and will try to inform him. By the time we'll go to the next question. Tilakam ma'am, mainly as you mentioned that virtual incubation, you are mainly focusing on that, and I think it's a very good way to reach to the those who are looking to get the support from the Nether and from ADPAR. So apart from that, ma'am, any thing you're planning to have your centers across the India? So those who can come and physically interact with you, apart from maybe from Delhi, or in what way they can reach to you, and what kind of any programs or skill training programs that you are planning to conduct for the physical handicapped marginalized community, ma'am?
So to answer that quickly, virtual incubator is the way to reach out to us also, and also of course we have no plans yet to reach out to states, but we do have plans in the coming months to look at state-wise schemes, and state-wise, like Uttarakhand we are looking at, Kashmir we are looking at. So like I told you about Leader Network, the business network has about 205 members across 20 states. And the best part of the NEDA network is they are the ambassadors for the program. And so they definitely want to take it forward in their states. So we are looking to NEDA members themselves take leadership, and they start looking at their own community, where we become the, it's like a hub and spoke model is what we are looking at, and we become the managers of the program, and we support the local networks and create local networks. And EDP program is something which we felt that the basic business skills has to go viral. That's why the virtual incubator is. And we provide financial linkage for returnable grant, which is no interest. We're trying also to through banks, and I think Sir is here, so Sir Dicky has to help us in this way forward. And I'm really looking at your margdarshan for us. And similarly, we also do marketing, which we have e-commerce and offline. We go to every melas and government itself, and like you shared about my past experience where Arunim was the marketing, program of National Trust. We started Divya Kala. So Divya Kala Mela is the first initiative of the Ministry of Social Justice itself. About 200 melas already the minister has taken forward, and it has been a great initiative for NIDA members and other entrepreneurs in the country. One, they get to meet other entrepreneurs locally. Second, they get to understand the business well, and it's a huge exposure, basically for our people to get to see their products and their work, and so the local communities and state-wise. So these are small initiative which has happened from the ministry, and we are also trying to provide that kind of a support and back end and train our people. So it's both ways, where we need to empower our people to meet the expectations. There can be number of schemes, but if it is not being utilized well, then the money goes waste, right? So it has to be dono haath se tali bajna zaruri hai. So our job is to bridge the gap, get them trained, use those opportunities, and also speak for themselves. So empowering them, building their confidence, building better business so that banks open. So I can give examples where post TDP training, wahi bank before when they went, they saw their wheelchairs and things like that. Nahi, tum business nahi kar sakte ho. Post TDP, when these confidently go and share their business plans, and the bank manager says, nahi, abhi, Himachal 5 lakh, they got through for an artisan. So the confidence building starts as a foundation. So post TDP, they are more answering those bank questions or any other questions of pitching or anything, those, business related. So you have to be talking the business language. So that's where we are. So to answer that,
has to be hybrid in a mode, like we got your point, ma'am.
It is hybrid mode because we have to reach to the last mile. A woman sitting at home and wanting to do something for her family and be part of the business unit or an entrepreneurial spirit she has. So those are things. So we have about more than 80 to 90 kinds of businesses across disabilities. So we have partially blind, deaf blind, people with intellectual disability who are running their businesses with family members. So yes, that is the role as rehab person we are doing, while the business community is helping us in the ecosystem.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. We do have more questions, ma'am. We'll take up very quickly. So Ravi sir, I was asking you about the question. Yeah, you are saying something. Please, sir.
First of all, Tilakam madam, we are ready to join with you. We can work together and for the benefit of the rural people and especially handicapped people. We have already organized one meeting to set up a handicapped chamber of commerce.
Oh wow!
So in the country,
I think history is made today through manage. I think this is a dream come true. Yeah.
So this is our idea is that they should have a special identity. Then only the things will move. So that we are planning. And Mr. Amit's question, next gen, what we have created is in the due course of our 18 years of journey, we have learned that the mindset of the young people and the mindset of the people like me is completely different. Though I am a little bit updated, but still I am very backward. If you see what my son thinks and what I think is completely different. So we have decided to create a different platform within the organization for the below 35 years of age group.
Okay.
So that they will have work independently. And as a parent, how they support the children. As a parent organization of Dicky, the Dicky next gen will be supported by the Dicky.
Got it.
So
sir.
they only decide the agenda, they only decide the venue, and whatever support system they wanted from us, we will extend it. So this is working for the past 2 years, and it is headed by Maitri Kamble, and they are doing wonderful job. Even in fact, one of the persons who was interacted with on 13th of this month with the Honorable Prime Minister. He's from Dicky next year.
Yeah, we got it, sir. So it's a very attendees, those are below the 35 age, are aspiring entrepreneurs. Please join that young platform next Dicky Next Gen. Maybe going to help, really helpful to you. I'll have very one small question, but before that, I can see one of the attendees, Sandeep, has raised hand. So I'm just going to unmute Sandeep. Can you hear me? So you have any question to the speaker? Sandeep, can you hear me? Yes, Sandeep, please quickly go with your question. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we're not able to connect
No,
with
I
him.
have seen one question.
Yeah,
One attendee was typed. Is that
yeah,
is the case? All the schemes are applicable to non-SCs, only SCs or others also like that? Somebody questioned. So I'll give the clarity. All the Government of India programs which are aimed to develop the SC/ST communities, they stipulate a condition that in that beneficiary firm must be holding a shareholding pattern of more than 51%. This is
okay.
applicable for all the Government of India programs.
Got it. So I was just coming to
As
that.
far as the state government support system is concerned, in the state government, the firm must have 100% shareholding.
Got it, sir. Got it. So it's clear, sir, now. And
Mm.
there is one comment is in the chat box from the Sagar Tadu. He is in
Mm.
working from Odisha and he wants to collaborate. So Sagar, we do have shared the speaker details so that you can connect. I'll take 1 minute and the last question to Aruna ma'am. That you mentioned, ma'am, how this membership helped you. So in what way these attendees can connect and can be the member of this Dicky? If you can give a little bit short information on that.
Yeah, we have an online portal, a Dicky website, wherein you can directly register your membership.
Yes. So
So we
already
have a
that
lot of
gives some
EDP
details.
programs. We give the sectorial trainings. We also have the vendor development programs with all the PSUs. So there is some or the other program always going on in Dicky. And we recently, organized a program for goat farming, wherein it is based on NLM scheme. So government of India is encouraging the goat farming, the poultry, the fisheries, the Agri Allied services. So there's a lot of scope for any entrepreneur to get into these kind of businesses.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for sharing that updated programs coming up from the Dicky side. So attendees who wants to really part of that, kindly go to their website. The details already we have shared in the chat box. Dicky, you have to just simply Google it. You can get their website and do register for yours. So with this note, I would like to say thank you. We are already time is over. Thank you to the three speakers. But before that, I would like to request to the all participants kindly provide us the feedback of the today's webinar. Also, you can do suggest us the upcoming topics also that you want to organize the webinars. It will really going to help us. Also, not forget us to follow our social media pages where we regularly keeping updates about the startup ecosystem, our activities, and different training programs. So kindly do follow our social media pages and the young budding entrepreneurs or the students. There is one announcement from the Manage side coming up on our website for the Manage Agri Eureka edition of 2024, where the students will, 4 students will get funding of 4 lakh rupees support from Manage. And also, if your innovative ideas are there, you can be the part of our upcoming webinar. So please do follow our social media pages and do not forget to visit our website. So with this note, I would like to say thank you all the attendees and all the 3 speakers for joining us and sharing their initiatives. Our team, Dr. Sarvanan sir, for hosting this webinar. So thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi Kumar sir and Madam Tilakam
Thank you.
and Aruna Madam. Thank you very much for joining with us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
so
Nice, sir.
much.
Thank you, madam.
It was a
Thank
pleasure meeting all of you.
Nice to see you all.
Thank you.
Yeah.